right, man. So how have you been?
Oh, crazy. It's been crazy, but so much to talk about. I've been good though. How are you? How have you been? You look
Good.
great.
Yeah, I just got back this morning at like 4 a.m. or something from Colombia. And
Wow.
I wasn't going to come back until Saturday, but then it was like my siblings and everybody was like, you need to come back now. They're going to close the borders and you're never going to get to come back. And I was like, all right, fine. So whatever. I came back.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around, but who knows? Anyway, it's just a couple of days, so it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
You're back.
It was fine.
It must have been, well, free. Was it smooth sailing through airports?
Yeah, like it was super empty. Like the flight was half full and there was not that many people at the airport in general. So
Yeah. I can't wait to hear like what your experiences are going back to work, but we could take that offline. But anyway.
yeah, well, I don't know yet because I haven't gone. I go back on Sunday, so we'll see. Uh, but yeah, it'll be interesting because I've already been looking at our loads. Our loads are like 30 people, 60 people, 10 people. There's no
Wow.
full, like, and where I'm used to like having completely full flights. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Cool. All right. And you haven't gotten any notices, like emails or something talking about this
Yeah,
whole?
we've gotten like our CEO came out and said that we need to that furloughing isn't off the table, even though our company's never furloughed. But it's like, so that's not off the table. And then also, like, they said that we need to, when we go on trips, we need to pack extra stuff because we could be stranded in any given city if the city gets quarantined or something.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I was
You're
like,
ready for whatever.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
know.
hoping that I actually was hoping when Trump did his state of emergency address today, I was hoping he was just going to be like, and all domestic flights are on hold. And then I was like thinking like, cool, then I would just get paid and not have to go to work for a little bit. But that's not,
Right.
didn't happen.
No. Well, that might eventually happen. Who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah, we're not there quite yet. But I can't even imagine that happening. But all right, we'll see. You're on like the front lines of like airline, word.
Yeah, and like it's kind of crazy because my friends are all like, yeah, they're giving us these special gloves and we have to wear them like even when we serve people and all. I'm like, why are we even serving people? Like, I don't want to be in people's face. What do you want to drink? What do you want to drink? What do you want to
It's
drink?
true.
Like, I don't
That's
even
a
think
good
we should
point.
serve. I think we should just be like, hey, if you want a can of water, here's a basket. Take a
Right.
can of water, chill.
Oh, what do you mean by basket? Like carrying a basket?
No,
Yeah.
like just put a basket full of water
Oh,
cans and be like,
right.
here, take a water. That's what I think
That's
we should do.
that's a that's a good idea. Or if somebody requests it, then you bring that. But like otherwise, why even? Especially for short flights. It's like, okay,
Yeah, which
everyone will
most of
live.
ours are under 2 hours. So
Yeah, totally unnecessary.
anyway, it's just like I feel like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's authentic. It feels like it's manufactured or something. The whole
Right?
thing just feels like such a knee-jerk reaction to an extreme flu, basically. Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know what to think. I mean, on the one hand, I've been talking to a lot of people from all over the world because I teach people and they're all working from home, all their company, like everywhere in
Mm-hmm.
Europe, in the United States, in South America, everyone's working from home and everyone has the luxury to do it. But some, like my Taiwanese students, they're like, their government just bam moves into action, like totally proactive about things, and they have fewer cases and fewer spreads. So
Yeah, like
I don't know.
Korea is doing really good with it, and I, I mean, I think, whatever. Like, I think this is all fine and stuff, but I just, I, I don't know.
It seems something weird,
Something's,
definitely.
but the thing is that like there's been so many like H1N1 or like the swine flu and the Zika virus and Ebola and like whatever. I feel like there's a new one every 2 years, and
Right.
this one is at least Ebola is like you bleed out your eyes and you are like certain death, and then this is just like, well, if you're elderly, if over 85, you have a 10% chance of dying. It's like that's a lot, but it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody under the age of 35 has died from it yet.
Yeah, well, hopefully no one will. It is a faster spreading virus. So I see the precautions, and I'm trying to be like open to be like, yeah, I mean, I understand this is not, people are saying this is not just the flu, this is more serious. And Mexico's got like really low cases. So I was like,
Yeah, but that's the other thing is that you have to realize that like people still get sick, like
right,
in
exactly. He's
general.
like, the flu is going around and there's a high level like a flu. My friend's son is actually here. He's got influenza B and he's got pneumonia and he's in the hospital right now. The kid's like 13, So
Oh wow.
there's shit going on and there's illnesses going around. It's spreading quickly. So I understand the need for like, social, whatever they're calling it.
Isolation or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They have that name though. It's like social distancing. That's what they're calling it.
Oh,
Social distancing.
diplomatic.
Distancing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. They come up with these terms, but then so there's that whole aspect of it where I think that everyone needs to be like, all right, like lay low if you can, and like take precautions and be smart and stay healthy and all that. And if they have to cancel mass events, I guess like it has to be done. All right, fine. But then there's just like you said, there's something going on. It's like something else to it. I don't know. There's something
I
else to it.
know. It feels just kind of like we've never been this extreme about a disease before. This is
Right. Right. I feel like it's a reason to be able to manipulate people, because when people are in fear, it's easy to control them. So it's like on the
well,
one
and then
hand,
part of me is thinking like, okay, so the stock market has fallen like
right. That's the other thing.
insane. And then today, after his emergency thing, and they're kind of going like, oh, we're taking all these amazing precautions, and you'll be able to test in the parking lots at Walmart and blah 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 blah. And the stock market's going boom 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 boom,
Right.
speeding back up, and you're kind of thinking it's almost like this is like a big game by some people to short stuff and then make a ton of money.
Well, that's what I think. I definitely think it's hurting. It's going to hurt people more financially.
And
than
then they're
anything
like, now
else.
the oil prices have just like plummeted. And then
Right.
Trump like said in his thing today that America's buying tons of reserve oils because of the price is so good right now, and we're stocking up on oil. And it's just kind of going like, this whole thing seems like a business arrangement.
Exactly. It's a business arrangement. That's right. And the people who are suffering are the people that don't get paid when they have to stay home from work and they're forced to stay home from work, or their kids' schools
Yeah,
are
and their
canceled
kids
or
are
whatever.
canceled, which is like a
Yeah.
lot of places.
Right. So
my
then
nieces
what?
and nephews, all their schools are canceled.
Yeah. And then people that just can't go to work, that are told that they have to choose between work or staying home. So then they have to go in sick, and that's like defeating the whole social distancing thing. So it's just a mess. And then my mother was saying today that she heard, I think it was on the news, that they were suggesting, since money's dirty, because it goes through hands of people, so it's like got germs on it.
Money.
Yeah, so they're suggesting using credit cards. I'm like, so this is a whole change of economy. We're in the middle of a change of structure right now. Like, don't like the writing is on the wall. Like we're just we're switching over right now. There's whatever's happening at the galactic level, at the physical level. Like the change is now. And the other thing I was thinking,
also they did something with the bandwidth caps. They like were taking off like internet caps on your data streaming or something. So like I guess like some of the carriers, I was reading about it yesterday, like AT&T and Verizon, or some of the big internet carriers have like you pay for a certain level, right. And then and they're disbanding that. So I wonder if that's...
I think that has to do with the 5G technology that's coming in. Personally, I think it has something to do. There's something with the switchover, because this year and next year in Mexico they're switching over to 5G by 2022 or something like that in many of the cities. So I know that's happening in the United States already. So what is this? What does that mean? So they're lifting these caps. I think that they're just changing over the whole networks
system or something.
Yeah, the whole systems. And the other thing was, I was thinking, if we're in this social distancing thing and everyone's home and has to stay indoors more, I think that I just thought of this today, that I think, like, remember that whole event thing that was supposed to happen like 2 years ago? And they're like, this event, it's going to change everything.
The dark event, or which one?
I don't remember. It was just called the event, like maybe it was the event.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking. It was like it was like the consciousness shift.
Right. Well, I think first of all, I think we're in the consciousness shift already. But I was thinking that if people are home and supposedly like extraterrestrials or other beings from other planets are visiting and are making themselves known or seen, because I've heard that that's kind of come up this year, like there are going to be more visitations, that we're going to be inside and miss it. So maybe it's like, that's a total conspiracy, I know, but like,
I love it.
right? But we have to stay inside, so we're going to be missing what's going on in the skies and around, you know? I don't know. It seems all fishy. So I just think to be very aware. Oh, and the other thing was, what's his name? Who was that guy? No. Oh, yeah. He's a total that's totally ridiculous. Everyone's like worshiping him right now, how great he is. And I'm like, really? He's got financial stakes. He cares nothing about your well-being. He's got financial stakes in every bit of everything. So,
well, yeah. And it's also like he's part of the research team that may have developed this.
Exactly. Sketchball, total sketchball.
Sketchy.
No, the other guy who just was put into jail.
Weinstein.
Yeah. Right.
Harvey Weinstein or whatever. Yeah.
So Harvey Weinstein. So he was just put into jail, right? All right. So he's sentenced, whatever. And that made news last week when all this stuff really, when the shit hit the fan pretty much last week, when I was just like, bam, like what is going on? So like that was major news, that he could have called out people at really high level, but with this whole, distraction of the virus, which does exist. I'm not denying that it's serious, but I'm just saying it's a distraction from other news, that like, okay, so maybe he was going to call out people's names, or maybe there were other people like in governmental parties or politicians or whomever in Hollywood or wherever.
Yeah, well, that whole like child sex trade and
exactly
stuff like got totally swept under the rug with what's the guy, Jeffrey
Epstein, right?
Well, yeah, and then Corey Feldman like
came out
and said Charlie Sheen was a big perpetrator and all that. And
right.
I don't know. It's so weird because I was in the Amazon jungle for like 2 weeks, and I come back and it's like the world just exploded.
I totally thought that. I was like, oh my gosh, I think Nikki is in the best place right now, because she has no idea what is going on right now.
I had no idea, and I come like I had internet like a couple of days ago, and it was just like,
wow.
My siblings were like, you need to quarantine yourself when you come back, and you can't see mom, and you can't, like, all these like rules that you're totally gonna get it because you're a flight attendant and blah blah blah. And I was just, what are you talking about? Like, it was crazy. I was like, okay, like, thanks for watching the house, and I'm like, no, I've been in the jungle.
Thank God. Because it's like hysteria. I'm like, calm yourselves. Okay, all right. So let's prepare. But let's not be crazy.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, those were like the big things that were just like on my mind. But anyway. Well, and this whole going back to all these earth changes and changes that we're having right now, these social changes with this virus thing, and like, just, I don't know, all these shifts. I was listening to something recently, and it was like, oh, during all this, it's going to be like some pretty intense times for the next, I don't know, couple of years. I don't really know how long, but it's going to be longer than originally kind of expected, that this is going to kind of project out. All right, whatever can happen. I'm not saying yes or no, but I did like this.
Wait, you mean like longer, like the transition, or what?
Yeah, like this whole transitional thing, and what, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe these lockdowns or like whatever. I wasn't really sure, but it seems like this whole transition is going to be longer than we originally expected or thought that could happen. So, but then I had heard this, it was a podcast or a download. I don't really remember where it came from now, but it just made me think like, oh, I like this. That after this time, or like during the end of this time, pretty much like coming up soon, actually, in like April, May, people are going to be really aware of their people who are conscious and waking up to this new world. Will get in tune with their gifts and really know what their gifts are, and everyone will kind of be like on board working with their own gifts in a more like deliberate way, and being able to just like kind of go into it, and it's just going to be like kind of snap happen, and questioning the status quo, and just like even if it's smaller steps and like not big consciousness stuff, like there's still like things that they didn't question before or that they just assumed that's the way it was. Like they're starting to have their doubts, which I appreciate.
But when you have like weird knee-jerk reactions to this coronavirus that we have, where you like can't buy toilet paper anymore, and all your and like everything is just like, and we are stopping as a society for a little bit here, everybody.
The thing that's great about that, though, I mean, like for me, I'm like, this is great. China has already shown that their pollution levels have gone down.
I know. I saw that. Did you see the maps of Wuhan, or however you say that
Wuhan.
word? Wuhan, where it's like, the pollution is like one day it's like, and then like now it's nice and clear and clean.
Exactly. I was like, I think Mother Earth is happy with this, and I think so many good things are coming out of this. This is why that's why I'm just like, it's just going to be a rough patch, but trade's going to change so that we have to start getting control back of our food sources and our medicine sources. Because I mean, I would prefer not to just completely get out of pharmaceutical altogether. But anyway, if you're going to have it, why not keep the jobs in your own country and have it come locally, and you don't have to like pay for all this transportation and whatever. Like I think it's going to restructure trade.
Yeah,
and people are also not going to buy as much. What?
Yeah, it's really is focusing a lot on, hey, you know what, the carbon footprint's real.
Right. And do we really need all this stuff? Like, what do we actually need? Let's minimize. Let's look at this. So we're going to go crazy buying toilet paper. But what is all the shit that we need? Do we need all this plastic stuff that's wrapped in more plastic and more plastic? So it's got to change. And that's what I think that this is all about. So it's just like, the phoenix will rise out of all this.
Oh, the ashes. Yeah. It's fine. It's actually kind of exciting in a way.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it too. I'm like, it's kind of exciting. I just have to remember to stay centered and do meditations every day, because otherwise I could really get wrapped up in it, especially if I see like Sabino sick and I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on? Like that kind of stuff is scary. And also the economy, like with people that are losing their work, or that
I might lose my job over this.
I know, I was thinking the same thing, or at least temporarily.
I might even get, been there 6 years. I don't know. I think I'm like, of a flight attendant, I'm like 30 percentile. Delta is letting go of 40% of theirs. And that's like, yeah. So if they did it with my company, then I would be gone.
Shoot. And with Delta, is it like, it's indefinite? Is it there?
Yeah. I think it's indefinite, but I think they just do furlough which just means like you're basically fired until you're not anymore. But
so we're just not going to pay you, and you're just not going to work.
And you're just not going to work
3 months.
Fired per se.
Right. You can come back once the demand comes back.
But yeah, before we hire new people, we would offer you your job back.
Right. Exactly. For a new shittier contract.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Well, who knows? You have to.
For me, it's like I'm thinking like, well, if it comes to an end, like, oh well, like I start a new chapter. It's
right. Exactly.
This is not my identity. I never wanted to do this for life. It's just like something I'm doing for right now, and it's offered a lot of really cool travel opportunities for me. But if that time has come to a close, then cool. I'll try something else.
It's just going to be for you to recreate yourself, and the time is where you're exactly where you need to be with it. So it's good. Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of good's going to come out of this. It's just like the havoc and craziness in the middle of it, but okay. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, man. So, yeah.
All right. I gotta go check on Sabino. I don't know if
Yeah, poor baby. I can't believe he's got the flu during all this corona stuff. Yeah, that's like pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's flu season here. Whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like even that lady on the news today, whenever Trump was giving I watched the state of emergency address because I was like, okay, what's this thing about? And I don't remember what she was. She was some kind of, maybe she was head of the CDC or center, I don't know, something. But she was talking about how, also just be diligent that this is normal flu season and cold season, and people, just because you have symptoms doesn't mean you necessarily have the coronavirus. We will do testing for them as well, but like she's like, also just take care in general, because there's other sicknesses that are still always with us.
Right, exactly. Which is why it's kind of annoying, because you're just like, Like everyone, like if you sneeze, people are like, you know,
Yeah.
and meanwhile, you're like, we survive like the colds and whatever every day, you know, we're
Hmm.
most likely we'll be fine.
And we get new mutations every year of new colds,
I
new
know,
flus, new whatever,
I know,
new viruses. And
I
little
know. And then
kids
I
get
started.
so much of it.
I know. That's what I was like. Well, hopefully Sabino's just like getting his immune system going, and like it's you know, helpful in the long run. I was watching this thing on the bubonic plague. Oh my god, that was crazy. I was like, shit. I think that one was like.
See, that's the thing is like
I don't
that
want to be
killed off,
fear based.
that one killed off like a third of the
Almost half the population.
population. Yeah. And people got like giant boils, like
Yes.
black boils that would like burst underneath their arms and neck and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like if you, that's why Ebola scared me, because Ebola was like people were bleeding out their eyes and
Right.
like getting all this
Right. Like that. Yeah.
like just crazy stuff like that. This one is like you have a dry cough, no runny nose associated with it.
Right. Well, they have. Well, you can get pneumonia.
Right, but it's basically just a cold that or influenza maybe that's it, but it's no new symptoms, like you're not going to get like black eyeballs and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. You're like, yeah, that's true. Your glands are not going to explode, hopefully. Oh my God. That was crazy. Anyway. I was telling my mom this. I didn't tell you this, but I was listening to this like astrology thing, podcast, and they were saying that the time, like right now we're in, I forgot, Pluto aligned Saturn or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the same exact pattern that was happening, the last time it happened like this was when the US, when the, like pretty much when the US became a country. So there was all this rebellion and like all this uneasiness, and like finally, like, you know, the colonies just were like, no, we're going to become a country, revolution, bam.
Hmm.
So there was that type of turmoil. And then before that, the last time was like when Calvin, what's his name, did the schism in the church, the Calvinism.
Oh yeah, the where it's like the Protestant.
Oh, it was Martin Luther. Sorry,
Martin
but yeah,
Luther.
the Martin Luther. Yeah, so that was the last time, and the church divided. That was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then the time before, and then he also said that there was some similarity between the ending of the Dark Ages with the plague, actually, with that same plague, but it wasn't exactly the same time, but it was like at the end of a similar cycle.
Cycle. Well, it's interesting because like I was reading an article, I meant to send it to you, but it was in Colombia, and so it was, my internet was very limited. But it was about how during all this, in the last 8 months or something, the solar energy technology has done like an 80% improvement, and no one's talking about it.
Oh, that's why we're going into the oil and the whole gas plunges of, oh, that makes sense.
Like the efficiency of it and everything is just it done a big giant leap forward. And then like I didn't get to read I still need to read your anti-gravity article that you sent me.
Yeah, I forgot about that article. I should go read it again. I don't remember.
Yeah, because I know that they did like do patents for that have come out for that recently. The government put patents on anti-gravity. So like that's,
right.
Which is like, oh my God, if we actually could do anti-gravity crafts, like that could revolutionize the flying industry and the way in which they currently work, and could be major, you know.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I don't know, something's gonna have to change, but yeah, that makes sense.
It's interesting because like you think that things don't happen quickly, but dude, when I was in the 8th grade, there was no such thing as cell phones.
Right.
I mean, there was, but they were like the size of bricks, and they weren't efficient.
Yeah, exactly. No, everything happens very quickly, and this whole change thing is just like a fall. It really is a falling of a system. The whole system is collapsing before our eyes, which is hard in the process. I think it's good too. I think it is good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, you know, because I'm like, are we going to have like shortages of food?
Yeah,
and,
I mean, we'll have birthing pains for sure at some point.
That's what I figured.
Something new will happen, and it'll be like, oh yeah, cool, this is what is.
Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, it's a little scary to think, really, because, you know, there's like locusts flying around Africa right now, like destroying crops, like, you know, like Bible,
Oh,
Bible level
really?
type of
I haven't
biblical
heard that one.
proportions.
My gosh.
Oh yeah, yeah. This been going on for a while. I think it's partial in Kenya. I don't know what other countries, but like they're destroying crops. So I was like, so if something like that could happen.
People really we need to get back to like everybody having some form of your own garden, so you eat a certain
Exactly.
percentage of your own stuff. I mean, like that's how the world used to be for forever,
Right.
until industrial farming became a thing, which was like, well, I don't know, like really in the 1900s sometime. So but before that, like even people who weren't farmers, even people who were in cities still had like herbs and they had certain things that they grew themselves.
Right.
And we have gotten so
Exactly.
disconnected from our food source. It's not cool.
Yep. Yeah. Have you ever seen those like memes that are like, um, gardening is revolutionary, you know, like that is what it is, you know, that's doing a revolution is just being independent, being as much independent as you can from the system pretty much, but from the matrix, I guess. But it's obviously impossible to be 100%, or would
Yeah,
you
but
even
you
want
don't
to
even
be?
have to be 100%. Just
Yeah,
and I'm
exactly.
this is me talking to future me. Go do a greenhouse, like plant something,
Exactly.
like I
Totally.
need to do it too. It's like I'm talking about it, but I'm not doing it. Like I don't.
Well, that's why I was like, if I go to Porto, I'm just gonna see if I can buy land in the next couple of years and just start planting trees. Exactly, planting
Mm-hmm.
trees
Fruit
and
forest.
exactly permaculture. Yep.
Yep. All right,
All
Miss
right.
Danielle, it was good.